Guys, welcome back. If you haven't watched part 1 to this gardening video, please go back and watch it. It'll kind of give you the first basic steps and what you need to start with the garden. Right now we're just going to cut right to the second part where we'll be planting and finishing up the garden. So what you're going to need for this part is a hammer, plastic bags, stakes, edgers, mulch, plants or flower bulbs, a trowel, and some soil.
But the cheapest thing is to just get a trash bag and cut it up, like cut it on there where it's like a sheet of plastic, and then you lay it down over the compost and soil, and then when you put your bulbs in, you just cut out wherever you want to. This will keep the weeds from growing up through your garden for years and years and years. So you don't have to weed as much. You still gonna have to do some weeding, but not as much as if you wouldn't put anything down. So, can you hold the bag straight?
Yep, so you heard it directly from my mama. We are going to now lay the plastic bags out, and really you could use the edgers to kind of hold the plastic bags in place. It's better if you have like bigger, more area covering plastic or tarps rather than cutting garbage bags or using plastic bags from the store, just because it takes longer. But anyway, you're going to try to cover all of the soil in whatever the area of your garden is with these plastic bags. Find the edgers and use those to hold it down. And now you're going to want to take the hammer and stakes and start to put the edgers up. What we like to do is put the edgers on top of the very edge of the plastic because it will hold it in place. And I think that's typically what most people do, like what you're supposed to do. But anyway, we go around the whole line, the edge of the garden, and just hammer in your edgers. Make sure it's whatever angle you'd like it to be. And there's so many options for edgers in your garden. You can really choose whatever style you feel like suits your home or fits your own style. At this point, your garden should be looking a little like this. Okay, so now it's the fun part. It's time to plant. So you want to get your flower bulbs if you're planting off season, or you can get your full flowers or plants that you want to plant and start to break little holes into the plastic where you want to put your plants or where you want them to grow, and use your trowel, dig out a 2 to 4, maybe 3 to 6 inch hole that you can put your bulb in, and cover it. Since we have clay especially, we're going to cover it with some more garden soil just to make sure that it is covered and it will be surrounded by health. And you're just going to want to go along the whole line of the garden and make sure that you do that in whatever order you want your flowers in, or whatever order you want your plants to be or grow. When you finish that, it's time to move on to the black mulch. And be careful, the mulch is very heavy. But what you're going to want to do is just put the mulch over the entire plastic, your soil, everything. So the reason for the holes is to make sure that the plants can grow through the plastic while the plastic still is holding down the weeds. So at this point, you could put the black mulch and spread it all over the plastic in the garden. Make sure you cover it really well. And it should be fine because the plants will grow through the holes and the mulch. And now I'm just continuing to rake once again and raking the mulch even and trying to cover all the plastic because we had a lot of plastic. Okay, so we did not get enough mulch. Right now this is how it looks, and we're gonna go to the store and pick up more mulch. Hey guys, quick update. Right now we're on the way to pick up a lawnmower to finish mowing the lawn. Tomorrow we're gonna be getting gas for the lawnmower, and that's all I have for the update. Okay, coming back to the house, just continue to pour the mulch down along your garden. Make sure you pour it around the plants that you do already have planted, and then you can rake it even, or I kind of like to use my feet to just move it into the right place and make sure that it's off the edge of the sidewalk and that it's not just all over the place, I guess. Also, you're going to want to make sure you get enough mulch. You should just estimate the size of your garden. It depends on your garden totally. And I would say at the very least, you probably need about 3 bags. And it's not very expensive. You could get it from Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. So make sure that you have enough when you make your first purchase so you don't have to go all the way back out to the store. And you can see it's taken us around like 3 to 4 bags of mulch to cover our edge garden. So that's not even really like a full garden space. It's just kind of entry pathway area.
20 minutes later.
Yay! And now you're basically done. And so what you want to do is just the final touches, which is taking all your little lawn ornaments. I have some meditation gnomes and our ADT sign and our little pathway lights. And so I just am taking those and I'm putting them back into the garden and just evenly spacing them out wherever I'd like. Also, you may need a hammer for this part just to make sure that you can get the ornaments through the plastic and through the mulch and through the soil. If you're having trouble getting your lights back in, you can just use the hammer to hammer in the stake part and then put the glass bulb part onto it. I was having trouble breaking through the plastic, so I definitely needed a hammer. And voila, we have a finished, beautiful entryway garden that should be fully grown and gorgeous by around, I think, next spring, hopefully. Also, I noticed that there's a little bit of the plastic that is hanging from outside of the edges. You can just use scissors or whatever you want to just trim that off and cut it out of the way. We also used our leftover edgers to edge around the little tree area and put a bit of mulch in there too. But it was like a whole nother bag of mulch. So make sure that you're buying enough if you are also rounding a tree or edging a tree. It's a little uneven, but I like to think of it as kind of like an evil eye looking over the house and protecting our garden. And now that you're finished, woo, the last thing you want to do is just water your plants and make sure that everything is nice and saturated and you're done. Congratulations on your first garden. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.